Hey everybody, Guy with the Pink Gun here, and this is going to be a racing season recap, but it's from 2023. You know how you move into a new place or you set something into a box and you put that box in an area and you go, I'm going to get to that. I'm going to sort all those things out. Yeah, sometimes that happens with the videos. They get put into a folder and that folder gets lost and then it gets found and ultimately there's good information here. So we're going to be doing a recap for the 2024 season, which turned out absolutely insane with winnings over $90,000. But first, I wanted to share with you the 23 season. I thought this was a good video. It did come together well. Please enjoy. Let me know if you have any questions. Start in the comments below and be looking for that 2024 update to be coming out very soon. Hey everybody, Guy with the Pink Gun here, and today's video is an update on our one loft races for the year. First and foremost, and very exciting, we've got birds back from the Hoosier. Now, it's still exciting to see them, but they didn't do worth a darn. I say didn't do worth a darn. I think the race started with almost 5,000 pigeons. I sent 6, 3 finished the series in the top 500. So all in all, not horrible, but outside of the money. So let's take a look at these guys to start with. All right, so bird number 1 is 315, and 315 is out of 229 and 19,372. So that's our peach winner from the years before. All bird condition looks pretty good. It's a nice, really, really small bird. I personally like that. So you've got kind of a cross between some Gabby birds and Grandelier stuff that I got from Lou. A little bit of vibration starting there. And not a bad handling pigeon and very small. I like how small it is. My guess is probably a hen. All right, so the next bird coming out here is labeled 303. 5303 is out of 1447. That's the Kid Kittel bird, bred to 155, which is direct daughter of the old man. Again, talking Grandelier. It's labeled as penciled. I don't know that I would fully call this penciling. If it is penciling, it's very light penciling. This is again a very small bird. Appears to be strong backed, losing a bunch of feathers. It's going to be ready to go through a molting process. Seem to be in pretty decent condition all the way around and looks a lot like its mother. It's very interesting to be able to see the characteristics. We're losing all kinds of feathers, darling. It's very interesting to be able to see things like that. Exact same head as its mother, but has her daddy's eyes. And I would guess again, hen. This is a very small pigeon. They have them listed as hens. And then this bird, the final bird here, I have labeled as a cock to begin with, and they thought the same thing when it shipped in. This is a larger pigeon, strong. This is out of the 44,000 cockbird bred to 194, the no-band hen. This is kind of an Alphonse Claas. We're losing all kinds of feathers, guys. Alphonse Claas breeding, and it would be the father to Black Power, my big winner at the Flying D, and mother to Bell. Last year, we had a top placement at the Southern Bell, so I put those two together, and we have this blue checker that I'm assuming here would be a cock, but still also a fairly small pigeon. None of them are very big. Got a lot of fight for just coming out of the box. Nice blue check bird. So we'll go through briefly. These are the 3 straight out of the box from the Hoosier. They look in pretty good shape. Like they've just flown a whole bunch of miles. Now, of all of the races that I went through this year, flew in the Hoosier. The individual birds there did okay. This will be an evaluation since none of them were top placement birds. I have to see if any of them really seem like they're worth adding to the breeding program or just moving on. 315, which is the first one that we looked at, it didn't perform very well in any of the races. 1100th, 1300th, 600th, and 300th. All 45 minutes-ish out. Just kind of showed up, but did it on its own sweet time. And then we have 303, which was the bird that I was kind of most, I think here, let's see. 303 was out of 1447 and 155. That's what I was talking there. 303 says she was way out on the first race, got better, kind of just all over the place. Again, no real rhyme or reason to any of these. And then the last bird, which is 301, that's the last blue check that I pulled out there. It was the most consistent of the three through the series, finishing 17 minutes out, 15 minutes out, 30 minutes out, and then that last race was tough. It came seven hours after because it came the next day. They had some snafus with the trailer and stuff, and I know birds were released late. Not super experienced on this, but I think it cut some of the birds a little bit short on the day. Stuff happens, it's pigeon racing. So all three of these birds didn't do fantastic. I don't know if taking them back to something else will be a good idea or not. We'll evaluate. What they're going to do though is go into quarantine. It's just a smart idea anytime you bring new birds in, especially birds that have come from an area where they've been with a lot of other pigeons. So those guys will move into quarantine for approximately 30 days. Now, the other races that we've been in, I've had less luck, I would say, all the way around with a lot of losses, but the losses have been consistent across all of the races. So I think a lot of guys are struggling, and though there are birds coming home, I think that it's going to be important to elevate the standards of the pigeons by breeding from new pigeons that are able to survive whatever the changes in the world are that are causing so many losses from guys that have been flying birds for a very long time. Now, in the Peach Classic, the final is coming up, and it is Thursday, this Thursday, the 16th. This video will probably come out after the fact, and I'll have results by then. But I have a bird there that is doing well, flirting with a big winner. 3 minutes out, 4 minutes out, 3 minutes out, and then had kind of a slow, they had a really tough last race, and it came back slow, being several, looks like 4 hours out. Not the end of the world. I'm training really well these last few weeks. We've got a shot at the Peach with that bird. The Sooner, I had a bird do really, really well until the final race and didn't come home. We were 27 seconds out. So on the first drop in the first race, I'm 6 minutes out, 10 minutes out, and then seems like it's kind of gotten progressively worse. That was a bird out of horsepower. Did really well in the sprint series, didn't finish the full series. Then we had the Breeders' Fall Classic. He had, again, a very, very tough final. All 4 of my birds were there ready to fly the final. Only one of them finished, and I was one of 30, maybe 40 pigeons that finished. Let's see what ended up total. Took 19th place with one of the birds, and this is kind of a crazy thing. 26 total birds finished, was 19th place, and I mean, that's a really tough final race. So one of the other birds that didn't finish, he actually called me and said somebody had found a pigeon with the band on it 1 mile away from the loft. So got close, but couldn't finish it out. Again, a tough race. The California Classic, we have a strong team. The last race, I finished 71st place, just 2 minutes out, which means that bird was there when the first bird landed. That's how close we are at. The final race is this coming weekend, so I've got a chance there, and that's actually a nest mate to the bird that did the best at the Hoosier. And we've got the Gulf Coast Homing Classic. That we are in the running. They do it differently with that. It's not timing because it's not a one loft race, but it was 1 yard per minute behind, which means seconds. We're talking seconds out of first, not quite first drop, but essentially the same time frame. The next race is again tomorrow, and that'll be one of the big ones for money. We've got a shot there. We've got several birds doing really well in that one. And then the Longhorn, I sent 4 birds originally. I only have 1 bird left to fly the final, and it's not doing well. It actually took second to last in the last race, which is not good at all. But that is an update thus far. We still have the Flying D to finish, the Peach Classic to finish, the California Classic to finish, the Longhorn to finish, the Florida Pigeon Derby to finish, and I think that will be the tail end of our season. I will definitely make a video at the end talking about how everything transpired throughout the entire season, and then from there, we will talk about breeding coming up in this next season, what we're looking at, and what those bird pairings will be, and why we're making changes. Thanks for watching. I'm the guy with the pink gun. We'll see you in the next video.